Welcome to another bite-sized VO radio show. I'm Robbo in Sydney, Australia, and down in Melbourne we have...
Andrew Peters here. We're mixing it up, man.
We're really mixing it up. We're so out there.
Exactly.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right, and you?
Good, yeah, really good. Thank you. We talked last week about talking about pops and clicks and ticks and stuff in voiceovers.
Yes, we did, and it seems to be a common thing that I see on many forums. There is no definitive answer that I can think of.
No.
But I just get rid of them when I edit. People say, eat a green apple or, have nice warm water. The body temperature water used to be the big thing.
Right.
I don't actually know. I think hydration is probably important. Like if you get dry in the mouth, if you drink a lot of coffee, especially if it's a milky coffee, that sort of dairy will probably get a few clicks going. But but I also find if I eat something like a grapefruit or whatever, which is very cleansing, that actually makes my mouth dry so much that it clicks. So it's not a wet click, it's a dry click.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the maybe where we should wind back to is what is a mouth click.
Yeah.
And as you say, that it can come from either wet or dry mouth.
Yeah.
But it's in the case of a wet click, it's the saliva sort of clicking between the tongue and your roof of your mouth and your teeth and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And in a dry mouth, it's the fact that there is no lubrication there, from what I understand. Does that sound right to you?
That would make sense to me. We should get an ENT guy in here, but
yes, we should.
Yeah, they probably explain it really, really well.
Yeah. From an audio engineer's point of view, if someone I'm recording is particularly bad with mouth clicking, I guess the first thing, to go back to last week's episode, I guess the first thing I reach for is I just wind the gain back a little bit. And if it's only small sort of clicks, that can sometimes help. If they're big clicks, then you've got to sort of go to the source and sort of get whoever it is drinking water, or in as I said last week, I know of a studio here in Sydney, hello to the boys at Stella, who keep a loaf of bread in the room to soak up some of that saliva, I guess. So
interesting.
So yeah, it's one of those funny ones, but it's certainly something as an audio engineer when you got to sit there and cut out 1,000 clicks in a 30-second voiceover that you start cursing and swearing whoever it was that voiced it.
Yeah. But is there a trick, like if you pull away from the mic, does that help?
Yes, it helps, but it doesn't sort of help in terms of the recording, because especially if you want that nice close mic sort of sound.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what I'm saying is I think I would probably more reach for the gain than I would for getting them to back off the microphone. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. You sort of want to get less close to the mouth in terms of what we're listening to, because that's why you're picking them up, because the microphone's nice and close to the mouth, especially with a shotgun, which is so directional.
Yeah.
That will amplify the problem. So that would be another solution, I guess, too, is to think about, can I change microphone?
Yeah, because there was the other thing, like if you go in there and you're a bit sinusy or a bit blocked up, I know you always direct the microphone away from the nose.
Yes.
So if you're getting mouth clicks, would you direct the microphone somewhere else?
Yeah, I think that would be the other thing you would play with, was what's the microphone actually looking at, and play with that a bit. Yeah, you could probably possibly push it off to one side of the mouth. They all have audio consequences, so that's just one thing to think about, though.
So the conclusion is there isn't one.
Look, the conclusion is that I guess you've just got to sort of think about what's causing it, I guess. If we want to go back to our show 2 weeks ago about troubleshooting, if you want to troubleshoot clicks and stuff like that, go back to the source. Have I got a dry mouth? Have I got a wet mouth? What can I do to sort of help that situation out first and maybe stop some clicks? And if that doesn't work, then how can I manipulate the microphone to sort of reduce the amount of clicks that I'm producing? And then as a final thought, reach for the gain knob and see if winding out some gain will help solve the problem.
I did actually see one forum where somebody was talking about a coach that can actually coach the clicks out of you.
Really?
I am still scratching my head trying to work out how that could possibly work, because if you start retraining the way your mouth works, then it's going to change your voice.
Your voice. That's right. Exactly. That's right. I'm wondering if someone can coach the croakiness out of my man flu voice this week.
You've just been shouting at the kids probably.
Oh, yeah. I was shouting at footy on the sideline on Sunday, so that probably didn't help.
Ah, yes, that will do it. Conclusion is we don't know.
Conclusion is there is no concrete answer, but hopefully we've given you a few tips and tools that you might be able to reach into the toolkit and see if you can solve the problem for yourself. Yeah.
Beautiful.
There you go.
I'm going to click off out of here.
See you next year.
The VO Radio Show is produced in the studios of Voodoo Sound. To polish your next audio production, check us out at voodoo-sound.com. Find professional voices simply all in one place. Realtimecasting.com, including me.